Today, the topic or the message that we are saved by grace and not by works is everywhere. It's nothing new. Whereas maybe more than 500 years ago, it was absolutely a brand new topic, something that was completely forgotten because the Bible was controlled by a few, and only a few could actually read it. It was all written in Latin, and there were manuscripts in Greek, Aramaic, etc. But only the elite bishops and ministers could read it. Others couldn't. In fact, it didn't even exist in normal language. You had to be a scholar to understand it. And so for many, many hundreds and hundreds and maybe even thousands of years, people were simply listening to those who preached, and they preached that you're always guilty. And it was very convenient for them because if you're guilty, you're going to have to kind of be subdued and always be sort of in trouble in front of these guys, right? So that they would pray over you and release your sins. I mean, it was just a religious organization, and today's no different, by the way. And so then when the message was again brought, just like it was brought in the times of Christ, when the law was already also, people were tired of it, Christ brought a message that salvation is not by works, but simply by faith in Him. Then when Gutenberg printed the Bible that was translated by Luther, it was translated into German, and then he printed hundreds and hundreds of copies of Bibles, which were cheap. People began to read the Bible, and suddenly they began to learn. And then after that, hundreds and hundreds of years passed by, and this message has been spread, and now it's everywhere. But Satan took that and made another religion out of it. He took it to the extreme, that people today don't even care how their hearts are, because they constantly hear their message. You're saved by grace, don't worry about it, it's all good. No problem, right? Just come to church, pay your dues. Problem is, it's absolutely false. It has nothing to do with the Scriptures. This is all made up. Christ never taught not to worry about your heart. In fact, He clearly said, if you want to save your soul, you should lose it. He was talking about the soul. That was the entire message. Save your souls. What will appear when Christ comes is not what you know, not these right words. Oh, Christ did all this. What will appear is your heart, how it is right now. If Christ comes right now, right this moment, the condition of your heart, your insides, not how you say or what you think or what you're doing, but your inner being, that is what's going to show up and appear. And if there is no Christ there, if there's no peace, if there is no love, you will not be resurrected and risen with Him. You won't. You will not rise with Christ. You won't. And so today it's extremely important and serious to really look at yourself and not be so shallow. I think the problem of today's age is this shallowness, this superficial, surface-like stuff. Oh, it looks good, or it sounds good. I mean, literally, it's cheap stuff. This is cheap religion, right? Where there's no gravity, there is no fundamental understanding where if you have peace, then you have peace. To believe this message, you first have to understand your heart. And when you see that your heart is corrupt, and you first want to change your heart, that is when that faith is really important and begins to work. And it changes your heart. It doesn't stay that way. When you see that your heart is absolutely empty or nothing there, you start believing that Christ bore all your sins, even though inside of you, you feel like crap. The only thing you have to grasp on is, okay, I've got nothing. I've got absolutely nothing. It's true, but the only thing I got to hold on is what's written. And it's written that He saved me simply because He did, because He loved me first. And it's also written that He will change your heart. He will cleanse it. He will finish the work that He started. That's when you need that faith. It begins to work, and you will actually see the changes. It's not going to be like that for 5, 10, 3 years. You're going to start. And if you don't see the changes in your heart, then your faith isn't working. You have this cheap, fake, Chinese good, right? That has absolutely no depth. It's a copy. It's a false copy of the genuine teaching that Christ brought. That is what Satan has done in the last thousands of years. He took the Christianity faith, the faith that Jesus brought, and made false copies of it. This walking, the shallow walking in believing that Christ did everything for you without first recognizing who you are and where He got you out of, and without really paying attention to what's inside your heart, is absolutely foolish. It is a fake religion. Cheap religion. And you only lose by being so superficial.